Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. So today I have a book haul for you. I've done so well to not buy any books during my book ban this year, but I just went a little bit mad when I went to London last time. So I have a lot of books here. Some of them I bought from second-hand bookshops, some of them are from main booksellers, and a couple have been sent to me for review. So I have a lot, so let's just get stuck into them. So the first book is actually getting a lot of buzz at the moment on BookTube and has been given some wonderful reviews, and that is The End We Start From by Megan Hunter. First of all, this is an absolutely beautiful cover. I love the green and the gold combined, and look how shiny that is. So this is set in a world where London is currently underwater, there's been a flood, and a lady is giving birth to her first child who they've called Zed, and it follows their story in this sort of post-apocalyptic alternative London. And I really like the concept. I'm a big fan of conceptual work, not necessarily post-apocalyptic, short novellas that have a really interesting concept that I haven't read before. This is actually written almost in free verse. It's prose as far as I'm aware, but it's very short. It's not going to take me long to read at all, so I'd like to just sit down and take it all in one sitting, so I'll let you know how I got on with that soon. I don't know if you remember, but towards the end of last year I read this book, Diary of an Oxygen Thief by Anonymous, and I really enjoyed it. It had some mixed reviews, it was very controversial, it's a very misogynistic book, but it was a man's take on dating and sex and relationships, and we don't know if it is part autobiographical or entirely fiction. However, the sequel has come out, which is called Chameleon in a Candy Store. It follows the same man, as far as I'm aware, in his early 30s, but it just moves more into the internet age and online dating. Like I said, it is a very misogynistic book. This man is not a nice man, but I do like reading books with very unlikable characters, and as you know, I'm very interested in sort of how sexuality and sex is depicted in books. As you will see from this haul, there is a lot of stuff like that. So the next book is That's Your Lot by Limmy, and this is actually a short story collection, and again, I really like the cover. I'm a big fan of monochrome designs. So Limmy, I believe, is a Scottish comedian, which I didn't know until I did a little bit of research, but he had a first collection called Daft Wee Stories, which got very good reviews, but this unfortunately hasn't had that many reviews. I don't read a lot of comedic fiction, but it's always nice to have a laugh once in a while, and you know how much of a fan I am of short stories, so hopefully I'll be getting to this soon. Now we're going to move on to all of the books that I bought second hand. There's a lot. The first one got a lot of buzz on BookTube at the end of last year and this year, and that is The Girls by Emma Cline. I know, I can't believe I haven't read this yet. I've heard so much about it. So this is set mainly in the year 1969, and it surrounds the Charles Manson murders. Specifically follows a young girl called Evie Boyd, who is 14 at the time. I don't know a lot about the Charles Manson murders actually, and obviously this is a fictionalised account, so I don't know how much of this is genuine, but I'm really interested to read it, and of course so many people have said how fantastic this book is. So the next book I'm also really excited to read, and that is Muriel Spark's The Driver's Seat. This is the story of a girl called Lise, who has been working at the same job for 16 years. Her life is very monotonous, and one day she decides to pack up and drive away. But unfortunately things don't quite go to plan, and inevitably Lise meets her fate. I'm really looking forward to reading this. Like, I really hope I like this book. So after reading Day of the Triffids, I decided to pick this up, and this is The Midwich Cookies by John Wyndham. I'm going to read you the blurb of this because I think it describes it the best. In the sleepy English village of Midwich, a mysterious silver object appears and all the inhabitants fall unconscious. A day later the object is gone and everyone wakens unharmed, except that all the women in the village are discovered to be pregnant. It sounds really interesting. Certainly not something that I feel like I've read before. It gives me a little bit Handmaid's Tale vibes. It was first published in 1957, and I really feel like that is a 2017 idea, so I wonder how it stands up. So the next book is something that a lot of my friends on BookTube have really praised and also recommended it to me, and this is A Tale for the Time Being by Ruth Ozeki. So this is a diary of a girl called Neo, and it says, riding in the waves of tsunami, it's making its way across the ocean. It will change the life of the person who finds it. It might just change yours too. I don't know too much about this novel, but I'm really excited to read it. I haven't read a sort of in-depth diary for quite a while, and I really do like that style of narrative, so I'm really looking forward to reading this, and after all the good reviews I think I'm going to really enjoy it. The last 4 books that I picked up at second-hand bookshops have all got a similar sort of vein going through them. So the first one is A Game We Play by Simone da Vinci, and this is her first novel, and this is about some young children who go and play in an abandoned shed, and I think the age range is from about 7 to 13, and one of the eldest boys brings along some pornography with him, and this book is about the children's first look at pornography and sexuality and also physical touching of each other and experiencing sexualness for the first time. I think this book is going to be quite disturbing and controversial. I've never heard of this author before and I've never heard of this book, but it just seems really intriguing. Quite disturbing, but definitely intriguing. The second book is actually a short story collection by her, and it is in every sense like love. I absolutely love this cover. It is a little bit PG, but I really do like this cover. This is a collection of stories which moves a little bit away from the idea of childhood and more into what love is in the 21st century. However, it still does have elements of very triggering subjects like rape and incest and obsession. I never shy away from taboo subjects, but I will let you know about these very soon. The next one again is a book that I've never heard of, and this is Eat My Heart Out by Zoe Pillager. I love the cover of this as well. So this is a book about Anne-Marie, who is 23 and her life is essentially falling apart. It is very boring. And she meets this self-proclaimed feminist called Stephanie. And Stephanie takes her on this whirlwind journey of self-actualisation and sexual openness in London, and it just seems so good. I need to read more feminist novels and I think this is going to be the perfect place to start. Please let me know if you've heard of this already and hopefully it's good. I'm really looking forward to reading this. Don't let me down book. The next book, I can't believe I picked it up so cheap, but this is Emily Witt's Future Sex, A New Kind of Free Love. Again, absolutely beautiful cover. So this is Emily's sort of not autobiography, but a non-fiction book about love and sex and dating in the 21st century and what it means to be a feminist and have a feministic approach on dating and love. And I've read the first chapter on online dating. Online dating is a thing that I've never been a part of, so I don't know that world at all. So this was a really interesting look and insight into what it must be like. And it was so funny, it was so genuinely funny, and I can't wait to read the rest of this. I've heard fantastic things about this book. The next three books are all books that I've been sent to review. So the first one is Not Working by Lisa Owens, and this was published by Picador. And this is the story of a lady called Claire Flannery, who again is not really enjoying her life and enjoying her job and feels like she needs a big change. The blurb gives essentially nothing away, but I have heard really good things about this. I was sent this with a package of office supplies and some sweets and some gin, so thank you very much Picador, you know the way to my heart. And I'm just really looking forward to reading this. Again, it's a sort of diary style and I've heard it compared a little bit to Bridget Jones and sort of Adrian Mole, but for a feminist woman. I'm hoping it's raw and realistic and honest, and I'm really looking forward to reading this. On a very similar vein, I've just been sent 31 Days of Wonder by Tom Winter, and this is published by Corsair from Little Brown. So this is about two young people, Alice and Ben, who meet very fleeting one day, and they spend the next 31 days trying to get back in touch and, you know, hopefully inevitably get together. Again, I hope this is sort of a little bit more in depth and not so much surface level fabricated romance. I believe it won't be, so thank you so much to Little Brown and for Picador for sending me those two. And the last one I have, I'm very excited about, and this is Such Small Hands by Andreas Barber. I think is how you pronounce that, and it is translated from the Spanish by Lisa Dillman. First of all, again, absolutely beautiful cover, and this is published by Portobello Books as well. So this is about a young girl called Marina who is 7 years old, and her mother and father are both dead and she lives in an orphanage. She also has a doll called Marina as well, and all the blurb says is that she starts to play some disturbing games and the doll gets involved and it all gets a little bit creepy, and it sounds just like a fairy tale, and I'm so excited to read this. As soon as I turn the camera off now and I edit this video, I'm going to read this cover to cover. I'm just so excited to read this. I think this is either out now or it's out in August, but it will be out soon, so thank you so much Portobello for sending me this after I requested it. I can't wait to read it. And I think that is all of the books that I have. Thank you all so much for watching as usual. If you have any recommendations for me for any books based on this, or if you've read any of these books, then please do let me know. And also let me know what you're reading at the moment and how you're finding it, and if you're having a good reading month. And I shall see you in my next video. Bye!